Can you count how many pugs you see in this area? I had 2 New Year's resolutions this year. The first one was to stop buying clothing and start making it. And the second one was to wear more color. As you can see, I have a bunch of fabric and I want to make like my dream vacation wardrobe. I have about 7 days. So I want to see actually how much I can make with it. So the inspo is kind of like Miss Gabrielle Solis, 2000-ish, hot mom that doesn't have sex with minors and also is not a mom. Um, and also my Pinterest board. Let's go, I guess. Let's go. Let's fucking go. So the first project I wanted to tackle was this one. And I know what you're thinking, like, really? This is the dream? This basic ass top? In my defense, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. First of all, whatever expectations you have of me, please cut those in half immediately. And secondly, my thought process was if I start off with something easy, I'd get a little confidence boost and be okay with making more complicated things next. Because being an adult is really just tricking yourself into doing things, kind of like when you want to clean the entire apartment, so you set a timer for 5 minutes and then you just pray you'll continue going. Here I'm just attaching the sleeves to the front and back piece of the top, and right now I was doing good. And most importantly, I was blissfully unaware of the problems yet to come. Quick update, I already fucked up. I did like a faux turtleneck, a faux mock turtleneck. I don't even know how I managed to do that. It's so ugly. It's like giving priest a bit. Wish it would give like priest from Fleabag, but no, it's just giving regular priest. Once I called the church and figured out the neckline, I thought my biggest problem was gonna be the fact that I didn't have the right size of buttons. But then I remembered I had a similar coat and I could just harvest it from there, so I did that. And then I was like, okay, it's time to make the hole. It was at that moment she knew she fucked up. If I wanted to make this cutout seamless, I should have lined it. And I didn't. I completely forgot. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna line it now. But then it looked really wonky and ugly because all of the other seams have been in place already. Tell me what to do, please. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take it out and I'm gonna top stitch it and hopefully it works. But at that point, the cutout was way too big and it looked really, really, really rough. And so I just decided to scrap the project. But I did still want to include this because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. You know when you kind of like trick yourself when you make New Year's resolutions that you're gonna be such a different, like elevated version of yourself when you get there? And then the future comes and you're the same dipshit you were when you made the resolutions. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now because can you see how much color I got? Now I had to use some of that color, and on my Pinterest board I had like this maxi green beautiful fabric maxi skirt. Granted, this fabric is like 10 times uglier because I can't find anything like that at my local craft store. But still, I was like, okay, I'm equipped with the knowledge that I can't even make a basic t-shirt. Maybe I can make a basic maxi skirt. For the pattern, I just traced an old skirt I already had, sewed it right sides together, finished the seams with the zigzag stitch because it was like a stretchy fabric, and then it was basically done. It took me like 20 minutes and I was contemplating making a matching top for it, but I did plan on making like a basic off-the-shoulder wide top next, so I thought this could go well with it. I'm talking about this top and you've probably seen it everywhere, and by the time this video is out, it's gonna be out of style already because of how disgustingly fast fashion works. But it doesn't matter, we're not here to follow micro trends, we're gonna wear it until we like it. This is a really beginner friendly project because you just sew 4 of the same pieces together. I'm gonna link the tutorial I followed down below. And next up, drumroll, you guessed it, is another slinky stretchy top with bows that I think Miss Gabrielle Solis would wear. I promise I'm gonna make something else after this that isn't stretchy and slinky. But I did buy a lot of jersey fabric because it's quite comfortable and it's really easy to like fit it snug to your body. You'll see at the end where I make like a cotton vest. It turns out a bit wonky because you need to tailor it better, and I think as jersey is like more difficult to sew, it's much more forgiving when it comes to shaping. This top really did remind me of my childhood and watching Desperate Housewives because my bedtime was at 9 and that's when they aired, so I always used to pretend to fall asleep on the couch. That way my mom would let me stay for at least half an hour because she was watching it too, and then I would like squint and secretly watch it, which maybe wasn't the best for my brain development, but here I am. Let's get back to sewing. For this particular top, I needed to make 3 bows. And let me tell you, making straps and bows is not for the weak. Thankfully, I had a wonderful volunteer that kept me entertained. So for these bows, you need to cut out a rectangle, sew it right sides together, flip it inside out. Will you turn me inside out? Take a little strap and you put it in the middle and kind of like scrunch it up, and then I stitched that and then I hand stitched that onto the shirt as well. I also got new nails that day. What do you think? I'm also giving you a sneak peek of the shirt, although I will be styling everything at the end, because without styling it feels like when you're trying on a wedding guest dress without your hair and makeup done and you just can't see the vision. All aboard the train for the next look. The reason I wanted to try this shirt or shirred top, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, please correct me down below, is because a lot of the tops I have in my Pinterest boards use this technique, so I really wanted to learn it on a separate piece before I go and scavenge my boyfriend's closet, because some of his old like gingham shirts are just calling my name. This was the most frustrating part, winding the bobbin by hand, because of course it fell on the floor like 10,000 times, and I also bought the wrong thread the first time, so I had to redo it. But other than that, you just sew in rows and that's it. It kind of creates itself. Yes, I do have another set of nails on right here, and I'm so sorry, but I didn't lie to you. This did take me 7 days, it just wasn't consecutive days. I'm so sorry, please don't sue me. I had so much stuff to do before I went on vacation, so then I actually went and it was freezing, so I'm grateful I didn't take any of these pieces, and I was rocking my Canadian tuxedo most of the time. So the most upsetting thing about sewing is the fact that your skill levels are here, and then here is this fashion clothing aesthetic that you would like to get to, but between the two there's this giant gap. So this is where we're currently at. I hate it already. Nobody talks about this, but well, maybe because nobody feels like this, but I hate every piece I make when it's like 80% done, because so much work has gotten into it, and it's like the first time that you can kind of really try it on and see how it looks like, and usually it looks bad. And then you're just like, oh, well, that's great. I spent a lot of my time on this and it's, you know. So that's exactly where we're at currently, and I'm gonna put bows on this shit and hopefully it turns out nice. And for my next trick, I wanted to do one of these maxi skirts that have something odd about them, like giant bows or like this big kind of like drop waist situation. And I actually found a free pattern, but the pattern was meant for a mini skirt originally, so I just had to make it longer. But of course I forgot while I was cutting it, which you can see here, because then I was like, oh my god, I don't think I have enough fabric, but thankfully it just worked out. I had just enough to make it as long as I wanted to. I really enjoyed working on this skirt. It came together quite easy, and I think I will be making more of this pattern with just maybe some future adjustments, but using it as a base for like skirts like this, or this, because I have them all over my Pinterest board. And here's Mr. Fritz falling asleep on the fabric. Look at how adorable he is. So for the skirt to have this gathered effect, you just need to combine the front smaller piece with the front larger piece, which is the length of the entire skirt. And on the larger piece, you need to do like a basting stitch, which is a stitch that isn't secured in the front and back. So you can pull the thread and it kind of gathers the fabric. And then you just do that until it fits the entire length of the small pattern piece. Please tell me if I'm being too technical or if I'm not being technical enough, because I'm not sure if you guys watch these videos to relax or if you guys sew. It's probably a bit of both, because when I watch this type of content, I watch it because I enjoy seeing people make things, not necessarily because I will make these things. So yeah, side note, can you guys let me know your favorite comfort creators, because I feel like all of mine either got cancelled or just stopped posting. And with this Mr. Beastification of YouTube, it's quite hard to find new personality creators, I feel like. Oh, another thing. I'm not sure if this is my personality or this is a mental illness, but I have this thing where I don't want to work with patterns because it takes too much time. And then I look at a tutorial, but I look at like 5 seconds of the tutorial and then I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. And then I do, in fact, do not know where this is going. And so it takes me probably double or triple the amount of time it would actually take me if I took the time to do the other necessities first. But I don't. info. And with that, we're moving on to the final piece, which is a cotton vest with these pictures as the inspiration. And I did also purchase a pattern, and my hate for patterns still stands, but who would think things actually turn out better when you use them? Interesting. I got this gorgeous fabric, which is giving tablecloth a bit, but I wanted to do a vest with it and of course do some bows. And I was not sure if I was gonna line it, and I think at the end it kind of was a mistake to line it because it ended up being quite bulky and like straight on, as you will see in the final reveal. But because I lined it, I can now wear it reverse as well, even though I'm not sure if this is the better deal, having two pieces that are a little less than perfect and having one perfect piece. Anyway, this was quite easy to make, I think. You just repeat the process for the outer fabric and the lining, and then you combine the right sides together, and that's basically it. The only complicated thing is maybe the straps. You have to sew them in a way that they're not visible from the outside, which is maybe a bit counterintuitive. And voila, we made it! For the final review, I thought it'd be really fun to rank the items by difficulty and appearance, starting off with this Barbie ribbon top, which I'm trying really hard to sell to you, but I don't know if you're buying it. Here I styled it with some boots, but you could also do loafers if you're brave like that. I think this color kind of washes me out, so I think it would be better in a bolder color. Overall though, it was quite easy to make. I'm gonna give it a 3 on the difficulty scale. Looks-wise, I think it's a 6 for me. Moving on with this circus skirt, I really like this. I liked making it. I'm not sure how you would style this because it's it doesn't come through on camera, but it's a really bright color, so I just wanted to tone it down a bit, but I'm not sure how you would actually, you know, make it fashionable. I'm not there yet, okay? It was really easy to make, so I'm gonna give it a 1 on the difficulty scale. And looks-wise, I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it doesn't look that good on camera again, but I'm gonna give it a 9. Next up, we have this easy white top, which I think looks really nice, and I had to model while my boyfriend was making pancakes. You know, behind every calm YouTube girly video, there's a man screaming pancake ingredients.
The dry ingredients and stir with a large spoon until juice combined.
I think pairing it with a pop of color is the way to go, so here I chose some red, and I think this was really easy to make. I give it a 2 out of 10, and I also really like the way it looks, so I think this might be the winner. But also, I am a basic bitch, and it's very fitting that this top would be my winner. That's why I want to sew more and explore color and different patterns. Moving on with the burgundy top, this wasn't as difficult to make, but it was time consuming, so I'm adding that in with my rating, and it's gonna be a 5 out of 10. Looks wise, you can see it fits well until the waist, of course, but then it just creates this kind of weird bunching effect and a little bit like Lady of the Court. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 as well. I wanted to give the green maxi skirt an outfit too, but at this point I had already misplaced it somewhere. Difficulty wise, it was a 1 out of 10, and looks wise, it's a maxi skirt. 7 out of 10. And for the last contender, we have the cotton cami lacy top, which you can see doesn't fit that well, but I think it's still quite cute. I don't know, I don't think the fit really distracts from the fact that it's white and lacy, because some of these tops don't actually fit that well anyway. It's just a bit too straight for me. Like, you can see it if I'm wearing it with a skirt. It looks like I don't have a waistline. But other than that, I do quite enjoy it. It was semi-difficult to make. Let's give it a 3 or 4 out of 10. And looks-wise, I think it looks good. I think it's an 8 at least. Here's what it looks like reversed, and I also think this side fits a bit better somehow. I'm gonna give it a bonus point, so 9 out of 10, because it is reversible. And here are my final rankings. Let me know if you agree. I had a really fun time making this video. I enjoyed learning new things. See you next time, hopefully. Bye!